Today we're diving into a really beautiful old folktale from Uganda. It's a story about a village, a river, and a spirit. But honestly, its message about how we treat nature feels more urgent right now than ever before.
So this was the warning that was passed down from generation to generation in the village of Coemba. But you gotta understand, this wasn't just, some friendly advice. It was a fundamental rule for survival, like a sacred promise between the people and the very thing that gave them life. Just try to picture it. Coemba. It's this community where everything, and I mean everything, is woven into the life of the river. The river wasn't just some resource they used, it was their lifeblood. If the river was healthy, the people were healthy. It was that simple.
And this right here, this is the core conflict of the whole story. The choice couldn't be more clear, could it? You either live in balance with the river and you get life, or you break that balance and the consequences are just awful. It's a really clear-cut equation, respect or neglect.
But, like in a lot of stories, this perfect, delicate balance is about to get tested. And it doesn't start with some big disaster. Nope, it starts with just one person's doubt. One person who decides the old ways are just, old stories.
And here he is, meet Cato. He's that voice of modern skepticism, the one who just dismisses all that ancient wisdom as superstition. To him, the river isn't some living thing with a spirit. It's just water, a thing to be used. And that one simple, dismissive thought, that's the seed for all the trouble that's come.
And you can see the domino effect right here. It all starts so small, with just one guy, Cato, throwing his trash into the water. But then, his carelessness starts to seem normal. Other people start doing it, and the decline happens fast. You can see it. The water gets murky, and the whole ecosystem just starts to fall apart.
Okay, so this is where the story shifts gears. It goes from being just a cautionary tale to a full-on supernatural showdown. The very spirit that Cato laughed off as a kid's story, well, she's about to show up in a very, very real way. Can you just picture this scene? It's late, the moon's out, and Cato is standing by the very river he's been poisoning. And all of a sudden, this beautiful, almost magical singing starts to fill the air. And then, right out of the water, rises the spirit he mocked. The protector is here, and she's come to see him.
Her question? It's not angry, it's not complicated, but wow, is it powerful. It completely reframes the situation. For Cato, he was just throwing stuff away, but for her, he was attacking her home. It's a question that makes you think, The story reminds us there's no such thing as a way. And then she just lays it all out for him, clear as day. This isn't just about her home, it's about how everything is connected. She's basically saying, what you're doing is like throwing a boomerang. It's going to come right back and hit you and destroy your entire village.
And just to make sure he gets it, she shows him. And bam! In an instant, the beautiful river is gone. All he sees is this terrifying vision of the future. Dry, cracked, barren earth where the water used to be.
And the vision just keeps going. It's relentless. No river means no farms. The source of all the village's food has literally turned to dust. It's a direct line from their neglect to this disaster.
And then, she hits him with the most devastating image of all. The real human cost, the suffering of the children, the future of his own village, crying for the water their parents just threw away. So that terrifying vision, you could say it was a wake-up call. The story now shifts from total crisis to redemption. It's all about what happens after you realize the huge mistake you've made and how people can actually come together to fix the damage. Cato is completely changed. All that arrogance is just gone, shattered. It's replaced by pure terror and regret. He doesn't make any excuses. He immediately begs for forgiveness and takes full responsibility, promising not just to change himself, but to lead everyone back to the right path.
Look, redemption isn't about words, right? It's about action. And that's what we see here. Cato tells everyone what happened, and the whole village, the whole community, responds. They get in there, they physically clean the river, they change their habits, and maybe most importantly, they bring back that culture of respect for the water. And the results are just as immediate and obvious as the decline was. Nature really does respond to care, just like it responds to neglect. The water clears up, the fish come back, the crops get strong again. It just goes to show you that positive change is always, always possible if you're willing to do the work. So, the river is saved, the village is safe, great. But the story doesn't really end there. Its true power, the whole point of this fable,
is the lesson that has echoed down through all the generations since.
These are the big takeaways, the core truths the people of Coemba passed down. And notice how simple and direct they are. Nature isn't just this passive backdrop to our lives. It's an active participant. It responds to how we treat it. And that means ultimately, our future is in our own hands.
And if you boil this entire story down to one single truth, this is it. It's a perfect circle. We aren't separate from nature. We are nature. The health of our environment and our own health are the exact same thing. Protecting it isn't just a nice thing to do, it's self-preservation.
And that really brings us to the end. The story of Coemba might be a fable, but its message is incredibly real. It kind of forces us to ask ourselves, what are the essential things in our own lives, our communities, our environment, even our relationships that maybe we're taking for granted? What's your river, and are you doing enough to protect it?